Maroon Bells are peaks located in the Maroon Bells Snowmass Wilderness area of the White River National Forest, which is about a 200-mile drive west on I-70 out of Denver. So the Maroon Bells, I think, are the most photographed place in Colorado.
Are they?
Yeah, it's a really iconic. If you ever seen, I think they used it on a beer can for a little bit, like the Coors can maybe.
Oh, really?
I think so. That one I'm not sure of, but I just recall it's like the Double Mountain Peak.
Yeah.
For those of you watching, we'll show some videos and stuff in a little bit that have that, and I'm sure I'll have the picture on the cover of the episode. It is a national forest. It's about 2.2 million acres, and it's roughly the size of a Yellowstone National Park. So it's very big.
It's big, yeah.
And it's as we said, it's in Colorado. It was established in June 28th of 1902. So visitors per year. This forest sees about 12.2 million. That was in 2018. This is a small percentage compared to the 150 million visits to all the national forests in 2018. So, but this would be in the top 4 of national parks if it were a national park.
Yeah, I was looking up those numbers, and it was surprising. I figured national parks would have a higher, visitor, number, but maybe it's because a lot of the national forests are free.
Yeah, and it's what's unique about this one, they have like a little visitor center, and they have a nice path to where you can see the mountains.
Yeah.
So that's part of it. I'm going to keep talking about it, and I'll just play this video in the background. So if you are watching, you'll be able to see the video. For those of you who don't watch, I know we got your emails that you can't see, but it's kind of like Joe Rogan. Sometimes they play videos, and we're going to talk over it, so you can do both. So you can listen to it again and watch it.
Yeah.
But I'm just showing a video of our hike. So it's like well-groomed trail. You can see it's very forested, but the trails are really well-groomed, and it's just a beautiful area when you're going to it. So it would be in the top 4 if it were a national park. Some interesting facts about Colorado. No U.S. president or vice president has ever been born there. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Colorado is home to one of the largest preserved set of dinosaur tracks in the world at the Picket Wire Canyon. You can find more than 1,300 steps across roughly 1/4 mile. That's pretty cool. They have a lot of dinosaur excavation museums in the little towns in the mountains there. It's awesome. Oh, this is all footage I took with my drone, by the way. So it's not really cool. It's not stolen from other areas. Okay, that was it. This is a different mountain now. I hit like 4 peaks that weekend, so we won't focus on all of those. So the highest ski lift in North America can be found at Breckenridge Ski Resort, dropping skiers off at the very high 13,000 feet.
I've been to Breckenridge, and on that lift, it's pretty terrifying if you've not skied a lot in the mountains.
I've never skied in the mountains.
It's amazing. If you've ever skied, I've only skied in the Midwest, and Breckenridge was my first ski resort out in the mountains, and I was a little scared.
You went right to the top.
We just hit it hard right away. And honestly, the snow out here in the Midwest in the winter, it's all like icy and compacted. There was like fresh powder like up to your knees, and it was so easy to like move around in.
I have heard that if you can ski in Wisconsin, you can ski almost anywhere.
I mean, it was still really hard because that high up, it was pretty steep, but it was so much easier to stay in control just because the snow was so nice. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was super cool.
I'm totes jelly. Did you know it's against the law to pick Colorado state flower, the Colorado blue columbine, on public land or without prior consent of a private landowner?
How would they ever know?
They would know.
They would know.
When you post it on Instagram like a moron.
That's true.
With your location tag. Colorado Springs, Colorado is home to more than 300 days of sunshine a year, making it one of the sunniest places in the country. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Mesa Verde National Park is one of the richest archaeological sites in the world with more than 4,000 protected areas, many of which originate from 600 to 1300 AD. That's awesome. Is that the one where they have like the carved in the side of the mountain?
Yeah, we actually did a
that
case on a guy who went missing in that national park.
Yes, I remember looking at those pictures and like it looked like something you'd find in Mexico or like overseas, and it's like, no, this is in the Rockies.
Yeah,
it's so cool. 2 men set the record for the longest session of billiards ever in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Their final time, 100 hours straight. That's more than 4 days.
That's insane.
Like, did they play multiple games, or just they were that terrible at billiards? It took 4 days to get all the balls in.
Maybe they have the second record for worst billiards players. I don't know.
It's like someone with the most home runs also has the most strikeouts.
Right.
Glenwood Springs, Colorado, is home to the world's largest hot springs pool, found at Glenwood Hot Springs. Colorado is home to Four Corners Monument, the only place where corners of 4 states meet. Or do they? Recent reports have suggested that the monument is actually located a couple miles away from the official spot. That's probably, I could imagine, A, they didn't have the technology then, and then B, doesn't like the crust move a little bit every year?
Or the contractor put it in, and then when they got done, his supervisor's like, hey, it's the wrong spot.
Hey, Bob.
Like, hey, Bob.
Hey, Bob, you're a couple miles off. He's like, the road always goes. The road always only goes here. They're fine. It doesn't matter anyway. All right, so the climate, will break it down by seasons. In spring, the mountains are still covered with a deep blanket of snow, while the south-facing slopes of the foothills often begin to dry out in early May. Temperatures vary widely, with the lows usually below freezing. In summer, the high elevations may hold large snowfields on the north-facing slopes well into July. July is also when the alpine wildflowers begin to bloom, generally peaking during the second half of the month. Temperatures may often reach well into the 80s in the lower elevations, but peak out in the mid-70s above the tree line. Monsoonal flows will often develop in July and bring afternoon thunderstorms to the mountains until late August.
Didn't you get caught in a bad storm out there?
I did, yeah. It's you always think, like, being in the Midwest, like, July is a great time to go.
Yeah.
And we went early July, and there were still avalanche fields. We couldn't even get to the base to do a summit because an avalanche had occurred, like,
That's
2
crazy.
days beforehand.
Yeah.
In the fall, every year is different. In some years, the fall can be mild with temperatures reaching the 70s during the day until late September. The weather changes quickly, and once the first heavy snow falls in the mountains, which is usually in October, the temperatures can bottom out in the single digits at night. And then lastly, in winter, it's pretty treacherous. The White River National Forest is home to 12 ski resorts, which attracts skiers and snowboarders from all around the world. It's good there, but not in the summits usually. Temperatures can be quite cold in the evening, generally dropping to single-digit temperatures every clear night from late November to mid-February in the mountains. Daytime temperatures will often hit the 20s, but feel much warmer than on sunny days. Types of animals. There are black bear, mountain lion, moose, bighorn sheep, elk, mule deer, red fox, pine martens. I don't know what those are. What is a pine marten?
I'll look it up.
Yeah, look it up. I'm very interested in what a pine marten is. Bats, black-footed ferrets, which are endangered, and the lynx, which are endangered. There's a lot of bald eagles, golden eagles, and the great horned owl.
So the pine marten looks like it's like a rodent type thing. It looks like one of those things you see in Africa that pop out of the holes in the ground. The meerkats.
Meerkat. I was going to ask if it was like a marmot.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
Yeah,
a meerkat, marmot. Just like a mountain squirrel.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a squirrel, but
okay.
Yeah,
I'm not even looking at it. You're looking at it.
We're going to start the new controversy about
now we're going to get in trouble
meerkats and martens. We're past bears.
Yeah, we're off bears now. We'll be in trouble about something else. The terrain is very rugged and extremely dangerous. The Maroon Bells Wilderness encompasses 183.8 thousand acres and spans the Gunnison and White River National Forest. The majority of the area is within the White River National Forest, which has elevations ranging from 9,000 to 14,000 feet. There are more than 100 miles of trails for foot and horse travel through extremely rugged terrain. There are 6 peaks that rise above 14,000 feet that draw mountaineers to challenge themselves on this rugged terrain. These peaks are among the most difficult to scale in the state, and caution and skill are advised. I remember reading about this because we talked about when we went summiting.
Yeah.
And it was basically, do you do this all the time?
Yeah.
Are you from the area? If not, you need to be guided or just don't do it. So we didn't do it because we're not dumb.
Yeah, I think, didn't you were planning a hike where we were going to have to go over the knife's edge?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I saw videos of him like, ooh, I don't know.
I'm still going to do that one. That one apparently is a little less dangerous than these. Yeah. It's in the same wilderness, but it's different peaks than the Maroon Bells. Maroon Bells are actually more technical than that.
Yeah, well, and you'll get into this in just a second in your description of the area, but the National Forest Service actually has a sign up warning hikers and climbers of the dangers of the Maroon Bells peaks.
Yep.
So they're very dangerous.
Yeah, and that's a part of it. They look so beautiful. People want to tackle it. And it's unless your technical skill is very high, you should not even attempt.
Yeah.
In total, the White River National Forest has over 10 peaks higher than 14,000 feet, with the highest peak in the forest, Castle Peak, topping out at 14,279 feet.
It's amazing how many 14ers there are in Colorado.
Was it like 52?
I can't remember the exact number, but man, if you lived out there, I mean, it provides endless.
Oh, yeah. Unless you're crazy, because there's some dudes that do it in like a month.
I would take my time.
I know. I'm slowly kind of doing it involuntarily. I'm just trying new ones, but I'm not attempting to do them
I would do like a long weekend for each peak.
Yes, absolutely.
And just kind of enjoy myself.
Absolutely. The tree line in Colorado is generally between 11,000 and 12,000 feet, so it's pretty high.
Yeah.
So there will be areas on every peak where hikers and climbers will be completely exposed to the elements. You still have 2,000 feet of open nothing.
Yeah, and Joe's talked about this on his adventures out in Colorado. And if you get caught up at 14,000 feet in July during a thunderstorm or in the winter during a snowstorm, it's going to be it's going to be tough on you, and you're going to want to try and get off of that mountain as quickly as you can.
Yeah, I have. I'll look it up later. I have a video of the storm we were caught in, and we were hiding by a boulder. But before that, we were pretty close to a peak.
Yeah.
And the peak got hit by lightning, and it was terrifying. It was so loud.
I bet.
You see my face, I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah.
I'm like, we got to, and we just get down next to a boulder and lay down, and the snow's coming down, and it was pretty wild.
I mean, I was hiking in the Canadian Rockies years ago, and we were on a peak. We weren't at 14,000 feet. We were like 8,000 or 9,000 feet, and we started hearing lightning off in the distance, and we were kind of like, all right, guys, let's turn around.
It's scary. Because
you don't want to be up there.
You hear about mostly the people that get injured or killed are done so by lightning. If you're just hiking in the mountains and you start hearing that, you're like, okay, this could be it, because there's no trees, there's no nothing. It's me.
So while Joe's looking up that video, I'll just read the sign that the National Forest Service has up, warning people about the Maroon Bells. So this is verbatim from the sign. I don't know exactly where it is. People that live out there probably know where it is, but it reads, "The beautiful Maroon Bells and their neighbor Pyramid Peak have claimed many lives in the past few years. There are no extreme technical climbs, but they are unbelievably deceptive. The rock is downsloping, rotten, loose, and unstable. It kills quickly and without warning. The snowfields are treacherous, poorly consolidated, and no place for a novice climber. The gullies are death traps. Expert climbers who did not know the proper routes have died on these peaks. Don't repeat their mistakes, for only rarely have these mountains given a second chance." So that's a pretty terrifying sign to see before you're going to go climb and summit a mountain.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Absolutely.
Joe has a video up here.
I do.
What peak was this?
So this was Long's Peak.
Long's Peak.
And what you'll see is, for
That's
those just listening,
in Colorado Springs.
I don't know exactly where it is. You can find it's kind of, it might not even be technically right in this area, but it's an idea of what the weather can do in the mountains and why I like this.
Yeah.
In this particular video, you can see it's kind of cloudy. It's pretty clear, and when we started in the parking lot, it was actually sunny.
Yeah.
And this is how quick it can change. So I am playing this now. So you can see it goes in there, and you can see the clouds rolling in. I did a time lapse of this actually because I saw it coming, and then before you know it, you're completely covered. Now we're in a blizzard, and you have visibility of like 40 feet.
Yeah.
And we're in the mountains right now, laughing, joking. The snow's starting to come down pretty hard. And at this point, we're just kind of looking around, taking a little bit of a break. And then you just hear a crack of lightning, and we go hide behind this boulder. It was a little, so you can see my buddy up way ahead. He's almost gone. So this is how you can get lost. You'll see a little flash.
Yeah, I saw that.
There, yeah. And it's like, all right, we need to go lay somewhere and get safe.
Yeah.
But we didn't even think it was going to be a thunderstorm because it's snowing.
Yeah.
But it was starting to blizzard so heavily, we just went and literally laid under this rock, and we're like, we're not going to hike in this. We're going to get hit by lightning and get killed.
I mean, that's great that shelter, that cover was there.
If there wasn't a boulder, we'd be like just laying flat.
Doing what we talked about last episode.
Yep, exactly.
Laying flat and hoping you're not the tallest object.
Absolutely.
All right.
Where'd you leave off on? The scenic trail?
Yeah, so you can start. Yeah.
Okay, so on the Moon Creek Trail, see these are the easier hikes in the area. Start out at the outlet of Moon Lake, and you travel along Moon Creek. It's alpine meadowy, aspen forest and rocky slopes, so it's about a 3.2 mile one-way trail. It's an excellent place to spot wildlife such as mule deer, red fox, bighorn sheep, porcupines, a variety of birds. And there is the Crater Lake Trail. This is the one that you get to really get the view of the Maroon Bells the best. Yeah. It's a 3.6 mile round trip trail. Rewards hikers with the breathtaking vistas of the bushy aspen woodlands and Crater Lake. You start at the Deadly Bells kiosk from the Maroon Lake Trail, and then be prepared for a steep and rocky ascent, cooler temperatures, and spontaneous thunderstorms. So it was
So there are a lot of hikes you can do if you're not climbing the Maroon Bells.
Oh, absolutely. So that one you throw on a backpack with some sandwiches. It's a day hike. It's not easy.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of you feel it in your quads a little bit. You're going up and down hills and stuff.
Yeah.
But there are kids on the trail. It's a touristy trail.
Yeah, so when we talked about it being very hazardous and dangerous, we're more specifically talking about the climbing portion of the Maroon Bells.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of cool hiking in this area. I think, I don't know if I have it written down, but there's a ton of hiking trails in in this national forest.